Day 5. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. The morning started with me alone, as my wife of nearly 35 years was in the hospital. 4 seizures the day and night before indicated an infection of some kind, this time a urinary tract infection. Deborah is an amazing woman, the most fearless, brave, and tough lady I've ever met. I've always loved her for that spunk and fire in her spirit. And she's recovering well. We won't miss our road trip next week to Yellowstone. And Middie won't miss it either. The show must go on, you know, and the star has to make her appearance. After having been with Deborah in the ER all night, I came home and caught a little snooze. But I had something else on my mind. My second drive with Middie. Called the Tesla Service Center in St. Louis. My service advisor and I worked out getting me an Uber to bring me in for pickup, about a 30-minute drive. Sue was waiting for me in the driveway as I gathered the 2 rear aero covers removed during the tow. We don't want Middie looking weird with 2 on and 2 off. I covered them with a thin blanket to prevent scratches. They would get the back seat as I settled in for a conversation with Sue up front. She was delightful and obviously enjoyed meeting people. We talked about a number of topics and we got to know each other. The minutes went by quickly, and then we pulled up to the service center. There she was, all washed and charged at my set limit of 80%. While Tesla was picking up the Uber tab, I still wanted to show my appreciation for the truly 5-star service, which Sue appreciated. Within seconds, I'm greeted by my service advisor, who is finishing up helping another customer. I only wait a few minutes. As we had already talked about how we'd gotten to this point, he asked if I had additional questions. 1. Did using an old GM Voltec charger have any impact on causing the firmware recovery to fail? Absolutely not, was his reply. 2. If I just let updates occur overnight, can I avoid having the same issue? Yes. Manual updates can be performed, just don't reboot if the screen becomes unresponsive. 3. Did the engineers get the data and logs they needed? Yes, and it'll help them improve the already reliable update process. Then he handed me my key card, and we got Middie fully dressed again. I'm starting to really dig those aero covers. It had been 3 days since my only drive, and I was even more excited. This time, I would get to use traffic-aware cruise and auto steer. Absence had truly made my heart grow fonder. And this lady didn't disappoint. The ride and drive was again smooth, inspiring confidence and helping me relax. The interior breeds a peaceful feeling with the lack of busyness. I found myself more attentive as I experienced traffic-aware cruise control for the first time on city streets. Middie had calibrated right at the end of our first drive. She tends to be more careful than me, but I'm no backseat driver. I let Middie handle it with me watching out for things she may miss. Later in the day, I engaged autopilot for the first time on I-270 in rush hour traffic. My $5,000 investment was worth every penny. Again, Middie showed off her capabilities in maintaining lane position both within it and distance from the car ahead. And she was gaining admirers as drivers we passed pointed and gazed. The drive ended with me doing the home link shuffle. Don't know what that is? Oh, you will when you set up home link to work with your garage door opener. Just stick with it. Your persistence will be rewarded. And the star returned home, greeted by a new Tesla electric vehicle parking sign I had put up in the garage. Etsy does make anything, you know. Sure glad she isn't one of those divas that expect a supercharger in the garage. The J1772 adapter works perfectly. And Deborah? Recovering well in the hospital, and her absence makes my heart grow fonder.